Welcome to a glorious Monday. This is Bishop, your host for Bishop's Breakdown, episode 25. This is going to be all about WrestleMania weekend, the NBA playoffs. We're going to talk Dodgers, Tigers, spring game for the U of M Wolverines, and maybe some predictions for the NFL draft that's coming on later this week. So this is Bishop. Let's break it down. So let's go right into it. WrestleMania weekend, night one, night two. So I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and what I feel TKO and WWE needs to do going forward so WrestleMania will feel like, WrestleMania again. So the good. Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre's unsanctioned match was exactly what it needed to be. Hard-hitting. You could tell they hated each other. And Jacob Fatu went all out and Drew McIntyre went all out. They brought out the toolbox. They had weapons. They had tables. They had chairs. They had all the things you would expect in a match of this caliber. And the right person won. Jacob Fatu, like I predicted, Jacob Fatu won. Also on night one, nothing else. Maybe the Hall of Famers coming out. It's good to see AJ Styles. But it was, So more of the good. Night two, which was amazing. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar to kick off the show showed changing of the guard. Obafemi is a superstar. When his music hit and you seen whole bunch of people, hundreds of people doing the strut, the Obafemi, the Rula strut, all the way down to the ring, with him chanting, doing all the things to show that Obafemi's here to stay. And not only did he have his debut match on WrestleMania, he also beat Brock Lesnar right in the middle of the ring. No shenanigans, no outside interference, no slip on the banana peel, and Oba just falls on him and wins. He dominated and took everything that Brock Lesnar had. F5, boom, choke slam, fall from grace, 1, 2, 3. More good. The Becky Lynch, AJ Lee match, for what the time that they got, was good. Was really good. I think other matches were better, but the way that Becky won the match brought back the history that, the crooked ref and AJ Lee trying to tap her out, all those things, but Becky Lynch used it to her advantage and pulled off the W. Also from night one, Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer for the women's world title was good. Again, there was outside interference, but I expected that. And the fact that Liv Morgan won, again, I predicted that, and I feel that she deserves to win, and it puts Stephanie in chase mode, and you're going to get a lot of interesting things out of that. And another thing from night one, the match was meh, but the four-way for the women's title, and when Nikki Bella and Brie Bella came out and Nikki was in crutches, I'm like, oh, they're probably going to give it to someone else, saying, oh, we found another tag team. But no. Nikki said, I'm not going to let my sister down. And all of a sudden, and Paige comes back. I popped for that. Like, that made night one not as bad. Paige coming back for the first time in forever. Because last time we seen her, she was on AEW doing whatever Tony Khan thought of her, which clearly wasn't as much as you thought he should have. But she wanted to wrestle, and WWE wasn't going to let her wrestle, but clearly they're letting her wrestle, and now she's the tag team champion. So let's go to the bad. Pretty much everything in night one. If you went into night one thinking it's WrestleMania night one, you would think that you turned on to the wrong thing. It was more of a Saturday night's main event. Or if y'all remember back in the day, they used to have Raw super shows where Raw and SmackDown people would be on, and it would be, when it wasn't always 3 hours, those would be 3 hour shows, and it was packed to the gills with people from Raw, people from SmackDown, matchups that you didn't normally see because they were on different brands, like WrestleMania. But night one just felt like that. There was commercials galore. There was, I'll give you the match types. I wrote them down. The Usos and LA Knight versus the Division, the Vision and I Show Speed, 7 minutes. The four-way with 4 tag teams, 8 minutes. Becky, AJ Lee, 8 minutes. Liv and Steph for the women's world title. This is your world title match. Your Royal Rumble winner challenging for the world title. And one of the co-main events, 7 minutes. The only matches that had double-digit times was Fatu and Drew, which was 14, Seth and Gunther, 16, and the main event, Cody and Orton, 22 minutes. This is WrestleMania. All these matches should have at least been 10 to 12 minutes. There was more ads, more commercials than half these matches. And I understand why the Usos match was 7 minutes. It was on the pre-show or the free feed. And they only had so much time before they only had 30 minutes for 2 matches to get to the main show, that they didn't want to give it to people who weren't paying. I get it. But there's no excuse for that. A 4-way should only be 8 minutes. It should have been at least 15 minutes. I mean, you got 4 tag teams in a multi-person match, and it's 8 minutes. That's something you do on Raw or Saturday night's main event, which was what night one was basically, a Saturday night's main event and nothing more. So, I mean, night 2 was a little bit better. The Oba match was 5 minutes. The Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn was 7 minutes. And then the Demon match and Rhea's match were 10 minutes each. The main event was 33, and the ladder match was 15 minutes. Much better. I feel that Trick Williams should have at least been 12 minutes. I get why the Oba match was so short, but it fed into the story that Oba is dominating, and he took care of Brock Lesnar in 5 minutes. That's understandable. That's what you do. That's how you build a superstar. Oh, and another thing about the good, Trick Williams is the new United States champion. I'm glad they went that way and not just let Sammy win by some shenanigans. Lil Yachty accidentally cost Trick. But the emotion he had after he won, hugging his mom, seeing his dad, I love it. His debut WrestleMania, and now he's a champion. And he's going to be a champion over and over and over again because Trick Williams is that guy. That entrance, like The Rock used to do, But back to what I feel that they should do to make WrestleMania feel like WrestleMania. They need to stop with the ads every 5 seconds. I get it, you're on ESPN app, but why do you have constant commercials like I'm watching Monday Night Raw or SmackDown? This is WrestleMania. Imagine being in the building, spending from when the tickets first went on sale, tens of thousands of dollars for a barely 3-hour night 2 and a barely 3-hour night 1. I would feel cheated that I spent all this money to come to Las Vegas from wherever, Because these people aren't just coming from the surrounding areas. They're coming from all over the globe to see WrestleMania. And I know people have been saying, well, the Super Bowl, there's only 20 minutes of actual football, but it's a sporting event. You go there knowing that there's only 4 quarters. But you're going there for the atmosphere. You're going there because it's the 2 best teams that year facing off for a championship. This is wrestling. They can make and break and add time and do whatever they need to do to time out the show so it's longer and better and more fulfilling for the people there, most importantly, and the people who are watching at home. And you expect some of these people are paying $30 a month for this to get Raw, to get SmackDown, to get Saturday Night's Main Event. Hell, to get Main Event. So I feel that they need to time this better. And it blows my mind. There's people that weren't on the WrestleMania card. For instance, Io Sky, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Aleister Black, Matt Cardona, Carmella Hayes. All these people, Damian Priest, R-Truth, your tag team champions, not even on the card. But you got commercials. You got the Street Fighter movie trailer, Mortal Kombat movie trailer. But you could have had wrestling because this is WrestleMania. This is not Adamania or Commercial Mania. This is WrestleMania. And you expect people to spend thousands of dollars to attend your event. That's why ticket sales were terrible, because they knew what they were going to get. They were going to get ads and ads and ads and commercials, commercials. And then John Cena being the host, you know why they did it. They didn't do it because they had something for him to do, something special, something that only John Cena could do. They had nothing for him. Night 1, he comes out, blah, blah, blah. Here's how many people are here. Wow, we did it. And then night 2, he comes out, blah, 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 boom. And, I guess this is my time up as the host. And they did a comedy skit with The Miz and Danhausen and Kit Williams and short people. For what? So Io Sky doesn't get to wrestle against Asuka. Julia, your champion, your United States Women's Champion, doesn't get to wrestle. Tiffany Stratton, Tiffy time. I mean, I know they're mad about last year, about how she went into business for herself, but she got mad because Charlotte says out-of-pocket type of stuff, and Tiffany was just protecting herself. She was doing what she needed to do, saying what she needed to say, but you're going to punish her, and she's not even on the WrestleMania card. And it was a touching moment that Bianca comes out and says, I'm not coming back anytime soon because I got a baby. Sure. That was cool. I mean, emotional. John Cena looked shocked, like he didn't even know. But you could have timed it a lot better and not have as many commercial breaks. But that's what you wanted to do. That's how you wanted to make your WrestleMania 42 live from Las Vegas to feel like a glorified Monday Night Raw. I mean, I watched both night 1 and night 2 glued to my screen waiting for it. And night 1 was so anticlimactic. Even the main event, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, 2 of the biggest stars you have. And it was a dud. It seemed sloppy. It seemed like they had no plans going into it, and they kind of just called it on a whim. And why didn't you just give Orton the title? Why didn't the punt happen during the match and you pin him? Now, supposedly, Cody is hurt. He might be hurt. Looks like his eye was real messed up, that he accidentally got punched the hard way in the face. And he might be out 4 months, broke an orbital bone. Might be out 4 months. Now what? He ain't going to be back in time for Backlash. So Orton punt kicking him. Now you ain't got a champion. That's when you call an audible. And I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll find out more on Friday Night SmackDown, but it just seems lackluster and a terrible look, and it makes like I love going to Mania. I've been to two of them, 28 and 30. But all this money, all this time and effort, and that's what you give me, and you want me to try to save, try to be able to go to Mania, and I don't even know if I want to if you're going to keep doing this stuff. I mean, the right people won for the most part. You got a new world heavyweight champion in the OTC. You know, Roman Reigns. He came out to his old theme, Instant Aura. CM Punk came into his old theme that he used in ROH, Aura. That was dope. Night 2, way better. Night 1, terrible. Night 2 felt like a PLE. Felt like semi-WrestleMania. But if they don't keep doing it, like they're going to Saudi Arabia next year. This is not down the road. This is not in the United States. This is going overseas. And you want people to go to this event? Not after this nasty taste in my mouth. Like I said, TKO, you need to figure out what you need to do and do better, because this ain't it. This is humiliating for your company, and no wonder Triple H didn't show up for any of the post-conference, post-show things, because he knew that we flubbed the bed. You had it right there, and you flubbed the bed by just... I see more George Kittle slamming beers than some of these matches. That's sad. I like George Kittle. Him getting drunk on TV is not what I want to see for WrestleMania 42. That's something you go to YouTube and you see go to X and see his private Twitter account. Not WrestleMania on ESPN, seeing George Kittle just get drunk. Sorry, that's not what I signed up for when I seen WrestleMania. But please do better, because I love wrestling and I want to be able to support y'all, but it's kind of hard when you're giving this garbage. Please stop giving me garbage. This episode is brought to you by W Energy, the clean energy drink mix built for gamers, creators, and grinders like us. No jitters, no crash, no artificial dyes, just smooth, long-lasting focus whenever I'm breaking down WWE storylines, debating NBA, or just recording late at night. It's zero sugars, packed with vitamins and nutrients, and it actually keeps you locked in without the shaky feeling. Head to w.gg and use code Bishop's Breakdown at checkout and save 10%. So level up your energy and let's get back to the breakdown. And thanks for supporting the show. So WrestleMania is in the books. Moving on to Monday Night Raw tonight, SmackDown on Friday. But let's go NBA playoffs. Well, the Detroit Pistons flubbed the bed. Got outworked, outmanned by the Orlando Magic. They were an 8.5 or 7.5 point favorite going into the game and lost by 11. Like it wasn't Cade's fault. He damn near dropped 40. But I think the lights were super bright and they did not play to their potential. They play out of character. They weren't playing the same Pistons ball that they've been playing all year. And they need to wake up or they're going to get kicked out of the first round and prove Stephen A. Smith right. And nobody wants to do that. Nope. So Pistons, wake up or you're going to be sitting at home just like the Golden State Warriors. But my favorites for both the Western Conference, and the East Conference, Spurs. They took care of business by beating the Portland Trailblazers 111-98. Victor in his debut playoff series is going to be a problem. Drop over 30. So Victor, Castle, them boys, they're playing inspired ball, and the Spurs are the number 2 seed, and Don't be surprised if you see them in the Western Conference Finals. And the Nuggets, they took care of business. They took care of Anthony Edwards and Randall's Timberwolves 116-105. And Jokic, doing Jokic things, dropping triple doubles. And then Jamal Murray was like, you remember the bubble Murray? Back. Dropping dimes. Granted, he went 0 from 3, but he didn't miss a free throw. Sometimes that's all it takes. And the Celtics from the East, they took care of the 76ers with Maxey and Paul George, 123-91. Yeah, 123-91. The Boston Celtics, who earlier this year when the season started, didn't think Jason Tatum was going to sniff the arena, let alone be on the court for the playoffs. But here we are, and he playing ball like he wasn't hurt like less than a year ago. And I still give the Pistons credit until game 2. And if they flub the bed game 2, then they ain't my favorites no more. But Detroit Pistons, they're number 1 seed. Granted, they lost, but I'm sure they'll be more prepared for game 2 and will not flub the bed. And going forward, the Pistons will show why they deserve to be the number 1 seed and why they've been the hottest team all year long. So, it's only the start. It's only been game 1. You got to play the series. If it was one and done, that's one thing. But I feel the Pistons will go back to the factory, go back to the drawing board, and put in a better effort and not flub the bed against the Magic, who they had nothing to lose, so they just start playing. So those are my 4 picks, and we'll see how the playoffs are going. Those picks might be changing, but I'm going to do it weekly, and stay tuned to that. Hey everyone, it's Bishop. I got something special for you today. On the next bonus episode, I'm breaking down the top 4 teams in college basketball, giving you my insider's take and predictions you won't hear anywhere else. Plus, I'll dive into Vince Russo and John Cena's AEW talk and why he's crazy. No fluff, just straight analysis. This episode is exclusive to my Patreon supporters. For just a few bucks a month, you got bonus episodes like this, exclusive merch, and even a chance to ask me questions directly on a live Q&A session. So if you want in, join the crew now. The link will be in the description, and I'd love to have you on board and make sure you never miss the inside scoop. So break that down. So let's float through the spring game that was last weekend with the Michigan Wolverines. Kyle Whittingham had a presser saying all the right things, being honest. It's a scrimmage. If you want to put it down to layman's terms, that's all a spring game is. It's a way for the fans to come into the building, free tickets, be in the big house, watch their team. I mean, they're not even like in regular season mindset yet until probably June when they start doing, practice, getting ready for the season, working out, getting prepared, making that long trip until the fall, the winter time, and then the season starts. So this was this is not even like a preseason game. This is like a practice. You seen Underwood, doing things. The defense is doing things. It's football. It's getting everybody into the mindset of football. But Kyle Whittingham, he feels confident that there was no injuries from the spring game, which is what you pray for. You don't want to have a practice in front of your fans and your best players get hurt. So moving forward, I'm just ready for the season. And I'm ready to see what this man from Utah can pull and bring to the table, because last year wasn't it. And especially after what happened after that, we need to move forward and talk about football and not, stupid things in the back. We talk about football, gridiron, who's better, wins, losses, X's and O's, touchdowns, plays, defensive, stop, special teams, all the things that go into talking about football. And that's what we need to talk about in Ann Arbor for the Michigan Wolverines, because that's what we need, and we need that more than anything, especially nowadays with the basketball team winning national championship. Football team, it's on you, brother, to be better and do better in the Big Ten. Not saying that I feel that they're going to win the Big Ten this year, but they have a chance, and that's all they need, a chance. That's why they play on Saturdays. So let's talk Dodgers, Tigers. First, Tigers. Mediocre start to the season, 10-12. Meh. But it's a long season, over 180 games, so they can turn it around. Hell, they could win the division. But let's talk the LA Dodgers. They won the World Series last year with Mookie and Freddie Freeman and Kershaw and Ohtani. And most teams have that hangover. Not the Dodgers. They are starting the season 15-6. Granted, they've lost 2 straight to the Colorado Rockies. But Ohtani is in that pitcher mindset that he wants to be a Cy Young winner again. So in 3 games that he's pitched, he has 18 strikeouts, only giving up 7 hits, 1 ER or run, and his ERA is 0.5. 0.5. Granted, it's going to get, different, but in 3 games, that's a nice little sample size to show that Ohtani is serious about pitching. The last game that he pitched, he said, I just want to concentrate on pitching, so I'm not going to be a DH today. And he threw a gem against the Mets. And as a hitter, he still got 5 home runs. Ohtani is a gift. And if you don't like baseball, watch Ohtani highlights, and you will love baseball because he does it all. He puts it all on the line, and he's the one baseball player that I look and say he deserves all the money that they're giving him. All of it. Give him more, because he does 2 jobs, not just, It's not like, he's a mediocre pitcher and a mediocre hitter. No, he's a great pitcher, like MVP pitcher, Cy Young winner pitcher, and then as a hitter, MVP numbers. He's also the same guy who had over 50 home runs and over 50 stolen bases in the same season. So that's the Dodgers, and I know they're paying, but so is everybody else. Everybody else has a chance to do what the Dodgers are doing. They just don't have the money, or the owners are willing to spend that money to be great. And that's not the Dodgers' fault. They're not doing nothing illegal. They're doing what the Yankees are doing. That's why the Yankees are really good this year. Don't be surprised if the World Series is the Yankees versus the Dodgers again. But I'm here for it. Long season, so it could change. But as of right now, the Dodgers are hot. The Yankees are hot. And Mets, not so much. Anyways, let's go to my predictions that are for the NFL draft. Who are going to be the top 3 prospects? You got to go with Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback from the Indiana Hoosiers. He has to go number 1, right? Like, Heisman Trophy winner, has all the tools. I don't see why he's not going number 1. And Arvell Reese, the linebacker from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Nasty player. Nasty linebacker, and he'll make any defense that much better if they have the chance of drafting him, which I would think he's going to be drafted 2 or 3. And then David Bailey, the edge rusher from Texas Tech. Those are the top 3 I feel that you're going to see on Thursday of this week in the NFL draft, called by the commissioner Goodell. But that's the show for this week. WrestleMania in the books. NBA playoffs starting strong. Game ones of the first round series. Every week I'm going to keep talking about, my favorites, who I think is going to, be holding up the Larry O'Brien trophy in a few months. And stay tuned to your YouTube channel. So like, subscribe, hit that notification button, because I'm going to be opening up WWE cards, So maybe I'll make it a thing. But so far, I'm going to do it one time. And maybe if I be able to get more boxes, more packs, I'll open it for y'all to enjoy. Maybe I'll get some sports cards. Maybe I'll get some basketball, some football, baseball. But I'm going back to my old roots when I was a little bishop. So hope you enjoy this episode as much as I enjoy doing it. And with that being said, just remember, deuces, ooses. And I'm out.